Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back again with more introductions to the new Fireside collection with the Greetery. All these new products will be available on Tuesday, October 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern. Today I'm featuring some postage themed products. We have the large arch box, goodie box. I turned it into a mailbox and embellished it, little gold feet on it. Here's a Dear Santa postcard using the Dear Santa stamp set and some of the North Pole Post stamp set. But what I wanted to feature in this video was my favorite, the Flourished Phrases Merry stencil stamp and die set. So there's been several editions of the Flourished Phrases. We have thanks, love, what else is there? I think there's a birthday, but this one we have for the holidays, and it says Merry. So I started with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white panel of Hammermill cardstock, and I lined up the Merry. I have this temporarily taped down to my grid mat. I'm starting with Pawsitively saturated ink in blush. I'm going to do a slightly gradient blend, a little bit darker along the bottom of the letters, fading it up a little bit lighter. And I have this idea. I'd like to do another card where I do every letter a different color, mask it off. So like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or like, I don't know, I'm thinking Christmas rainbow, do every letter a different color. But today I just stuck with everything blush, a little bit darker on the bottom. There's only 2 stencils. It's very easy. So here's stencil number 2, which is the shadow. Okay, and I'm going to do a darker red. I'm keeping it traditional red and green, although this does look a little more pinky, but it's like pinky red and green. You know what I mean? Just go with it. Here I pulled out Concord 9th Poppy, which, side note, is my favorite red in all the land. It's like the best happy red you ever did see. Okay, and you just need a little bit there in the nooks and crannies of the shadow. So I give it a nice wash of Poppy, and then I pull out Cranberry, which is a deep dark cranberry, and I'm going just along the bottom, giving it a little burst of vibrancy there, and see how this looks. I love it. And then there's, I guess I was wrong. There's 3 stencils, but only 2 for the Merry, and this 3rd stencil is just the flourishes. You don't have to add the flourishes, but if you wanna, flourish your heart out. Okay, I'm using Buttercup and a little bit of Stardust. I did have to cut some of this video out because I didn't realize. See, I'm still working on a folding table right now, and sometimes it gets a little shaky, especially when you do an aggressive blend. You got to make sure your table doesn't touch the camera, or you get a real shaky shake. But I'm excited because my new IKEA desk is coming on Wednesday. It's looking up. Things are looking up, people. Because right now you should see it. I have stuff all over the floor. I'm literally just like kicking stuff out of the way. But okay, I die cut the outer of the flourish, and I kept everything inside intact. Look at how pretty that is. That's the Festiviest Merry. Is that a word? Festiviest? Okay, now I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. Airmail border stencil set. It's only 2 stencils, and it gives you that airmail border around the side. I love this stencil so much. I don't know what it is, but that little airmail border just toots my flute. Okay, so I pulled out Fairway. I believe that's the green, Positively saturated ink, and if you can tell, I do some spots darker, some spots lighter. I'm doing that on purpose. I want it to be kind of like uneven, like worn in. I don't want it perfectly perfect. Here, back with the Poppy, that bright poppin' Poppy, and I'm going around. So like when I ink up my brush, it comes in hot, and then I do a few stripes and I kind of fade it out. Then ink up again, coming in hot, fade it out. And I just kind of like that irregularity. Sometimes I want everything to be perfectly regular, and then sometimes I want it to be perfectly irregular. You know what I mean? Live your best postage, love and life. Okay, and then I took the brush, didn't even ink it up. I just used what was left on it, some pink or red, and I gave the background just a light wash, just so it wasn't so stark and white. I'm not sure if I really wanted to go with a pink background, but here we are. Okay, another favorite die, the Postcard Details Pierce plate. It's an older one, but when you die cut it in, it gives the detail of a postcard. I just love it so much. And then I decided it wasn't enough. It was too pinky. I needed a little more pump, like going towards red. I don't know. Sometimes you just get going and you're not really sure where you're going. And then I took it one step further. I smushed the poppy ink on an acrylic block, took a wet brush, and I flicked it. Now here's where I'm like, oh, Laura, does this look like blood splatters? I was trying to go for festive holiday, and now it's looking more like Halloween. I don't know. Every time I do that. Okay, this is the new North Pole Post stamp set. Love it. There's a little stamp, which I'm stamping with that fairway green. And then the other, what is this? This is an older one. Postal modern stamp set. I love that postcard. Fits right on the top of that, when it embosses the detail on the postcard. Stamp that with that bright poppy red. Use the coordinating dies to cut them out, take them off camera, run them through my die cutting machine, and then you have your own little custom stamp and your little postcard label. Now I took the green brush, didn't ink it up, just used what was left over to give that stamp a little more green so it wasn't so stark white. I want everything to be a little bit worn in. I don't know. Okay, now I wanted to stamp some extra little details. So I put my panel back into the MISTI, getting the lay of the land, seeing where I have room to stamp some extra doodads and whatnot. I want to do a little sub-sentiment, which is from the Flourished Phrases Merry stamp set. And this one is, hoping your holiday is, and I'm going to put it up right above the Merry, but you'll see here I'm doing a little trick. I'm going to arch it. I'm just manipulating that so it's kind of a curved sentiment, kind of curves around the Merry. And that's a little trickaroo. I stamped it with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And then some other these are from the Postal Modern, an older one. Just those postal things, where it looks like it's stamped, and Airmail, and all the little fun doodads that you just kind of tuck in here and there. And I think it makes it look, a little bit more special, a little worn in. Little Airmail here and there. Stamping these with blush, so it's kind of subtle, but you see it. Using Barely Art glue, just gluing everything down. If you wanted, you could use foam tape if you want to make it real dimensional. I am going to pop up the Merry, so I decided to just leave everything else kind of flat. You don't want to get it carried away, but dimension is definitely life. So there's popping up the Merry. And then I'm going to just tape this down to a white card base, which I love using the Nina Solar White 110 pound. It's a nice sturdy card base. And I don't even add any embellishments, but you could. I wouldn't be opposed to a few sparkling clear sequins. Hope your holiday is merry. And then just take a look at this one next to the Dear Santa postcard. So you can see how the Merry leans more pinky red, and then the Dear Santa is more kind of like, cream. It's got the old worn in cream, but this one's got the pinky red. And then one last look at this arch box, this large arch box. It opens like you can put mail in it, tie it. You can put some candy treats in there. Look at the gold feet on it. All these new products will be available October 2nd, Tuesday, at 10 a.m. Eastern. Check out the Greetery for more amazing inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.